Welcome to Ocean Sisters, Kathleen.
Thank you. And hello, greetings to Elaine, Chloe.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi. I'm happy today.
Yes, I bet. What have you?
We went diving.
That's always a good one. It's always a good day if you've been diving. How was your day? We're in the Maldives at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I am. So thank you for inviting me to speak. And I'm really actually happy because I'm speaking and I'm in the most beautiful place on the planet right now.
Cool. So tell us about you. How did it start? How did diving become your thing?
That's quite interesting because I'm actually, I was born in Hong Kong, but raised in Canada, in Vancouver. And of course, Vancouver is cold, rainy, a little bit gray. It's not like tropical like the Maldives. So I think as I was growing up, I had an interest in swimming and aquatics. And I think just having that as a background and growing up and then doing all of that, part of my uni days was what kind of inspired me as I went traveling to continue on and kind of pursue aquatics. I think I didn't start diving until my mid-20s after I went traveling a little bit. And I just remember one of my friends, she was a lifeguard, and she said, I became a scuba instructor and I was able to, use this as kind of a backup in case I needed to find employment and I'm traveling. So that kind of stuck in my mind when I did go traveling. And what better place to do it is when I went back to Hong Kong. And I think that's what inspired me to do it are those simple words that she said long time ago. And yeah. So that's how my getting started.
Kathleen, just for our listeners, what actual level are you at with PADI?
I'm actually a PADI Course Director. Probably one of the first female course directors in the UAE. I was a master instructor, I think. I'm dating myself, back in the late 90s in Hong Kong. And I've always taken inspiration to because of, when you have a bit more experience, it's nice to share and it's also nice to teach. And I think the passion of teaching is something that I really enjoy. And I always said that if I stop, enjoying what I'm doing, then I'll quit. And I haven't quit yet.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's
from a passion, that's what I wanted to continue developing, dive professionals, especially within the female community.
I'm being one of the first female course directors. I mean, you said UAE, but I'm pretty sure there was when you actually completed your course director course, it was probably what, top 100 female. I don't know what the statistic would be. Or there wasn't that many, and globally anyway when you got that.
There weren't that many, but funny enough, because when I did my instructor course in Hong Kong, of all places, I was taught by a female course director. Her name is Angela, and she's actually from South Africa, and now she presides. Now she lives in Australia, rescuing lots of dogs and things like that. But yeah, I had 2 female lead instructors. I think that was actually quite inspirational. I'm not going to tell you when I did that.
I think you should, Kathleen. I think you should. Come on. Please share.
1996. Were you born yet?
I
was 7.
Yeah, I was. I was 18.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
And in
journey.
terms of, I mean, being a female and me as, you know, I'm an instructor and I'm getting older now. I'm thinking about like adult stuff, like families and kids and things like that.
Peter Pan's gonna grow up sometime, Chloe.
Which is really scary.
I know.
Yes. I mean, like obviously being a female instructor, I mean, my main issue is like, when do I fit all of that stuff in? Because obviously, you know, it's not just, you know, after the baby born, but it's actually, you know, it's like 8 months of your life.
Yeah. I was really lucky. We have 2 kids, and now, bless them, they're like 14 and 15. Yes, they're with us diving as well. And I guess when we started to have kids, that was one of the things that was in the back of my mind, thinking, oh, what am I going to do? Am I going to recover? Am I going to scuba dive again? And lo and behold, I found that once they were born, I just needed to feel healthy and get like the doctor sort of like, okay. And that was about, the first one was like 2.5 months. And then I was able to get back into the water. Like I'm just a silly person, because while I was pregnant, I help organize underwater cleanups. And, you know, I'm just this pregnant lady waddling around doing briefings and
so you're still by the ocean, kind of like involved in
yeah. You're going like, this is like pregnant women waddling around shouting like, you know, these instructions. But it was my thing. I was also found in the poolside. So, and it was really funny because when the doctor told me I was pregnant, the first thing she said was, you can't you guys stop scuba diving and don't go skiing and, you know, all those extreme sports. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, I waited 9 months. I waited till I recovered. And then just having kids, I think you just have to take it, you know, day by day. Everybody's different. If you really have the desire that you want to continue diving and doing things, you know, as a dive professional, I continue to do that. I continue to dive probably 4 months after like both kids are born, like really like get back into it and kind of know your body. You know, like listen to your body and just kind of take it easy. Don't go like full tilt on everything. And then eventually, you know, all those muscles come back, and you know, your brain memory comes.
Your brain.
Your brain
Mine still hasn't come back, Kathleen. Chloe will tell you that. My brain's not true.
Don't travel with kids. I think it's like some of the best times that we traveled. Like, you know, I don't know, baby, what do they call baby? Baby carriages in tote and car seats and things. And the kids were in the Musandam on a dhow, like when they were like less than 1. We charged, like we were really lucky because they weren't like the really screamy type. So we traveled and we chartered some of the boats in the Maldives while they were like still toddlers. So they were like, I put them in a little pup tent, and then we just kind of alternated like dives. So we just kind of took turns, and until they were old enough, and we had a boat crew that were sensational. They actually looked after our kids, and then both of us were able to dive on eventually like the third charter that we did. So I believe that if you want to travel with, you know, with your family, you can make it happen. You can make it work. Yeah, it's going to be harder.
And it's very educational, isn't it? Like taking them places
yeah, it's like when you're traveling and you go like on a European tour, but we're just like beaches, ocean, fish.
Beautiful.
Sorry, Catherine. I think you just have to adapt, don't you? And you make it part of your passion, you know, but there's always a way for a female instructor or a female diver to have children. And obviously, like you said, Kathleen, be medically cleared and then still carry it on. Yep. And the supporting dive community around will always step in. I've seen it, you know, we've seen it. So, yeah. So come on, Chloe. When are we due, Chloe?
You've got me to help.
I want to be a dive master auntie.
You can take them on the bubble mate. Awesome. So you mentioned you got inspired by two female course directors. I mean, in terms of like a young female coming into diving, what would you recommend going into that field? How would you?
I think you've got to have the heart to go into it. Like a lot of people, I think they think that that's the lifestyle for them, and then when they fully immerse, and it's something that they maybe not interested. So I think you have to think about it that this is something that's like very special, and you have to be passionate about it. So like loving the ocean or loving outdoors, not being afraid to. We'll get into like the sweaty part bit when we're all like hot and bothered, but and I believe that for a young professional, if you're passionate about it and this is something that you believe you want to do, it's going to open a lot of doors. So not just being like a dive professional, because that leads into so many fields out there. All of a sudden you might decide that you take a gap year and you go and help out with some of these sort of marine research areas, and you might find a passion in sort of marine environmental sort of research and development, and so or travel, like you just love traveling, so you want to take people traveling, so you can be like that sort of travel expert. So there's different aspects of young professional, and I think now we have more opportunities and more fields that we can explore.
That's amazing. It's just like it opens doors.
It does. I think it is amazing for especially like I wish that after university I just had gone straight into going off to Southeast Asia and just done the scuba diving for a few years and then come back maybe into the working life. But I kind of I flipped it the other way around. I went straight into work. I've now gone into it. But yeah,
but you've a very interesting field as well too.
Yeah.
That your creativity and
no, it's been really useful. It's been useful.
And actually one of those fields that is very important. Like for example, we're diving with pelagic divers, and they just said, "Hey, we need an intern." Someone who does digital marketing and social media. We'll put you up for 2 months if you come and do your dive master here.
I'll be there.
If you have those,
flights are booked.
like, yeah, because a lot of people don't the business like we don't have all those skills, and we don't have that time. So it's amazing that we can find people that can do that aspect of the work, and then we continue our business aspect.
Yeah, no, it's been really handy being going into marketing. So in terms of the women entering the workforce in diving now, would you say that it's changed and developed since when you started, or would you say now a women are better off now in this sort of industry compared to when you started?
Absolutely. We have more technology. We're more connected compared to the internet. We didn't have social media back then. Social media was face-to-face coffee time, face-to-face, we didn't have that sort of network, that sort of global reach as well. So we didn't have Mark Zuckerberg with his Facebook. So we weren't able to create like a women lead groups.
PADI Dive Days and stuff like that.
Yeah, and PADI Women's Day, which is incredible as well too. So all those things have evolved, and that just kind of created more awareness that hey, there's more women that are doing that, and then like I have a friend who lived in Canada, in Toronto. I've known her since like our lifeguard days, which is like predating all this, and she just like dropped everything. Her friend bought a resort in Belize, and she did her during just before COVID. She was in Costa Rica. She did her instructor course, and then she got locked down 6 months there. But now she's in Belize, opening up a resort for her friend. Like, talk about a complete, like, sort of 180 changing career. But she followed her passion. So, you know, and she's like my age. Don't tell her I said that. Like,
Never too
but
old to start diving. Start doing it as a career.
Yeah, inspired by people that will take that, you know, take that sort of decision and not be afraid to kind of step in, follow your heart.
I totally agree with that. Totally.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's get down to the fun questions.
I hope you're ready.
All right.
So, I mean, these are just kind of common questions that I get asked as an instructor, and I'm sure you guys have been asked them quite a few times as well. So, these, and for men listening to this, you might want to put some earmuffs on.
They should listen.
Maybe they should listen, yeah.
Because they would know what we go through.
I know that when I mention the word period to my boyfriend, he just he immediately switches off.
Come on then, Chloe, hit us with these questions. Come
right, so first one, talking about periods, is can I dive on my period?
It's going to be your comfort level, and I think as a dive professional, that's something that you probably, and also Elaine, you're a water baby, so there's going to be time water, and this you know, this sort of happens. Yes, you can dive during a period. Some people are more comfortable with it. They can, you know, use sort of things that are going to be so help them leak proof. And there's also, I actually tried the Diva, what is it called? The Diva cup, or is it the Moon?
I've got the Moon cup, which I think is similar.
And I just wish I had found it like years ago, you know, and that would have made my
game changer.
It's a game changer.
And I found that doing easy dives and sort of changing regularly, that actually was a game changer, like you said. Some people will use tampons, and others, if they don't, will do it like this per their comfort level. You know, then some people say, okay, it's my period and I won't dive, and then that's it. So really,
if they,
but
you've got to be comfortable underwater and feel comfortable putting all this equipment on and stuff. And if that's, you know, if you're not comfortable, then you're not going to enjoy the dive, or you're not going to enjoy your time on the boat. Always like worrying. So,
as a dive professional, you just unfortunately I just have to kind of exactly. I was just going to say, suck it up. You're right. But yeah, I was a swimmer, and actually my coach when I was 12 taught me how to sort of period proof myself while I was swimming, and I had no choice. So I learned at a very young age. So it was fine. I actually taught my mom of all things.
It's okay.
That was hilarious.
And I think I get a lot of questions like, will a shark come and attack me if I'm on my period?
That's a classic one.
You, Chloe, and I would have to say I dived with a lot of sharks, including like today. This whole week we're diving with a lot of sharks, and so far, not a single, they were in us at all. So I do believe that we don't have to worry. We should be mindful, but also if you learn a little bit about shark behavior, you can also learn that, you know, are they being aggressive? Are they being nosy? And you can also, you know, learn that they're actually not there to predate you. So,
I mean, I heard someone told me once that if you're on your period, they can smell the blood and realize that they're not you're not their food. So they can kind of identify that you're not actually there.
Well, one thing, you're not struggling, not well, unless you're waving frantically underwater, but you're not going to be and creating that vibrations to signal that you are. And also you're diving usually diving like maybe with people as well, so you're not like solitary as well. So they're not going to approach you. That's not in their best interest. So I don't diving with sharks for a long time.
If you respect them, they'll respect you.
Yeah, and also watch them. Like if there are sharks around, just keep an eye on them. That's the key. And if they start to show like sort of like unnatural movements, then leave. Golden rule. I think we learned that in PADI, chapter 3 about environment, right? When there's an aggressive marine life, just stay low and move.
And leave. Get out.
Yeah.
Before they do that and go get their friends. Okay.
Right.
Go on,
Second question. Sorry, we went on a tangent now. If I get a boob job, how will that affect my buoyancy?
What size are you getting, Chloe?
I do not need a boob job. If anything,
she doesn't need them. It's me.
Yeah. I am
Sorry,
all good for that.
About it, the implants are liquid filled, and so or saline. I don't know all the compounds that go with it, and different types of procedure. But again, it's more about, and there's not a lot of studies done on like diving and breast augmentation, I guess. And but what people thought was that they would be more buoyant, but they're not filled with air. They're filled with like fluid, which means they are going to be heavier. So actually, they are going to be slightly negative. So you're going to have like a heavier chest area. So that means it might affect your trim rather than anything else. Sorry, I don't have a personal experience on that, but I suppose if I put some rock there,
you know what I'm thinking, Kathleen, you do know what I'm thinking now. So if like not me, but obviously I'm not.
Are you going to be our test, Elaine?
No. So if I go and have my boob done, I'm then going to go and have a bum lift as well, because that will counterbalance my trim.
I think when we get together and say, okay, one of these like size, I don't know, D or B, whatever size. What's the average? What's the good size? And then we fill it with the weight of what it should be. We have to consult a surgeon, and then put it in your wetsuit and then dive, and then you can see the effects of that buoyancy and trim when you're diving.
I actually think that's quite a good experiment. Actually, I think we should do that.
Yeah.
You'll be our test baby.
Yeah. And I think we should just check about the trim. There isn't a lot of research or data about like tissue saturation. I think Dan has started to do a little bit of it, but maybe there isn't like a lot of test subjects that they are like close to look at this. So there might be the small concern, but right now it's just that there isn't like a huge sort of impact. The only thing is it's a surgery, so the surgical healing, and any sort of, again, like post-surgical complications, not necessarily related to the actual sort of procedure, but what comes as a complication. So maybe those things like infection or not healing and things like that, or jumping into the water too soon after. I would say probably tight wetsuits, tight BCDs, like squishing, your chest area. That might have an impact. So you might have to then look at the type of equipment that you're using. to make it more comfortable and not to like squeeze that area.
Yeah.
So that would be one thing to
I guess that goes for all like cosmetic enhancements. I know in Dubai, there's a lot of lips enhancements,
Botox.
Yeah, we've got it all.
Yeah, we've had what was it? Implants, yeah. So like facial implants. We've had people that have done like sort of nasal, nose implants, and we've asked that again. Clear. The first thing is clear with the doctors. Clear it and make sure that you're like properly healed before doing any scuba.
Most definitely, yeah. Get medical clearance before you even think about putting a
Yeah.
mask on with BCD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Because we're good rescue divers, but not in that area. But sorry, go on.
We need new technique.
I'm not even gonna go there. Come on, Chloe. Hit us with it.
So one of the other things I get asked a lot is especially ladies with long hair or curly hair. I mean, Elaine, you've got lovely, beautiful long hair.
You have lovely hair.
How do you dive with this? What's the easiest way? I mean, I'll share mine. I just literally put it up in a ponytail, but mine's not as long as
Elaine.
And yours.
Elaine.
Yeah.
She's got luscious hair.
It's a nightmare. So I use a product called Stream to Sea. Stream to Sea,
Yep.
I think it's called. Yeah. It's a leave-in conditioner and it is an absolute godsend. But I don't braid my hair anymore like I used to because it was coming out the ocean knotted and matted, even with the leave-in conditioner. So now I just do loads of pigtails all the way down. And it's amazing now. It doesn't knot, so. But I know Kathleen has this particular brush that she loves because she was like, Elaine, you've got to try this brush.
It's just the wet brush. But
Wow.
since hair is porous, it's going to absorb some water. And I think if you don't want all the crusty sea water in, some people actually wet their hair first to kind of almost like saturate your hair. And then some people will wet their hair and then add in leave-in conditioner. Should be sea safe. So that's one thing that, Elaine, you brought up Extreme to Sea is sea safe, which is great.
Totally. Yeah.
And then either I'm the same as Chloe, ponytail. I used to braid, but like you say, it gets all like if you don't in between dives, if you don't like relax it, it becomes a nice big mat after the day.
I heard like coconut oil is really good as well, so I might give that a go.
There are African Americans have very thick, very, very, very also harder hair. And I think there's like online, there's also big discussions about how they will braid it and condition it as well too. So I think we have like some people have quite fine hair. So again, you don't want to get too much hair loss. So really to protect it, some people will wear hair bands, headbands, buffs, hoods. I find the buffs are really good. It just kind of keeps everything off your face. And you kind of look cool if you get a good buff, like, that's have sharks on them and different motifs.
Yeah. But I seriously swear by Stream to Sea. I'm not promoting them or anything, but it's just a great product. That
we are not affiliated with Stream to Sea, but
no,
but yeah, they are good.
It's a very really good product.
Their recent trip to Florida, and on their dive boat, and actually in their dive center, they had like a tray on their dive boat, and it was like baby shampoo, defog, and they had a huge pump bottle of Stream to Sea leave-in conditioner, like a huge bottle. And I'm like, oh, this is great. So right. And then I took a picture of this tray, and I'm like, I sent it immediately to our team. I'm like, we got to do this because also want like eco-friendly, sea-safe products as well, and to deal with, especially in our region, women have beautiful long hair, and I think that's one of the things that is like you say, it's a challenge to manage. But if we can kind of use some good products that are safe for the sea, that will help as well. Yeah,
Definitely.
I agree. And I'm also not affiliated with them as well either. So,
We just love
not
them.
yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Cool. I think that nicely leads us to our final question. What 3 dive accessories do you always bring on your boat?
As the female, sunscreen, hairband. Actually, you should have more than one, because a lot of times another female diver is like, oh, I forgot my hairband. And sometimes an extra buff as well has been really, really like been godsend for some people, because they have long hair, they can't find their little hairband and things like that. But yeah, I think we need to take care of our skin a little bit more, so that sunscreen I think is really important. And again, same thing, there's so many products that are sun safe, sea safe as well. So those are mine. How about you? What 3 things do you have that's like in your dive kit?
Are you asking me or Chloe?
Very curious what you have in
Me,
yours.
my contact lenses is my top one. I wear I wear contacts, and my fear is just losing a contact lens, like
one eye Chloe,
somehow taking a mask off, or one eye Chloe is my fear. And again, leaving conditioner and hairbands I think would also be on my top 3.
And I just bring an absolute load of water with me in my cold bottle that's got electrolytes in it, so that I don't dehydrate. Yeah, because drinking water is good, but a little bit of electrolyte doesn't go amiss. Yeah.
When I was in Florida, we were sweating buckets, and one of the things that we came across, and this is in the kids section, in the baby section, was Pedialyte.
Yeah.
So it's like a electrolyte, but for kids. So it's like a much lighter sort of electrolyte. So, but I don't find that in this area. But I thought that was kind of a cool thing to have as well too.
Yeah, it's really good.
Right. We've got to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming and talking to us. And
we will see you soon.
Yes. Next week, hopefully.
Yay!
Take care.
Thank you so much, Kathleen.